Trader Joe's is on the other side of these signs. There's no signage outside of Trader Joe's saying that you can't use cameras in the store, and some people go in and do like grocery hauls to show prices and stuff in other states and towns and cities and stuff like that. Here I walked in, not tonight but another night, and I was told to put the camera away, that there's signage saying no cameras. There's no signage on the doors outside, which is what the lying manager claimed. So the thing is, I usually don't turn cameras on in stores. For some reason, you know, a little voice was like, go ahead and walk in and like kind of show the Trader Joe's of Philadelphia. And you can go online today and find people who do grocery hauls in Trader Joe's or other stores, and they don't ask or anything, they just go in and do it. So the woman here was willing to lie out of her ASS. Why did she need to do that? And how did she see me? It was super crowded that day. Like, how did she notice me right away? She didn't want me to have a camera on because people play games in supermarkets. You kind of get RAPED in the supermarkets, especially Trader Joe's. They play a lot of games. A lot of people shop there on purpose. It's cheap, so that's one thing. And then if you're there, it means, well, you have to pinch pennies, because some people will just not go because they don't want to put up with all the riffraff. So it shows that you're probably pinching pennies a little bit. And she didn't want her people to be exposed. And this is some woman, you know, a Caucasian woman, I guess, you know, slightly heavy set, whatever, dark hair. And as soon as I walked in, a couple things happened, and I knew people were playing games, because people will actually run into you with their carts. It is like a low-level war, if you will. But a lot of people are participating. So you can't really pin it on a group or whatever. So it's hard to tell. It could be just like, you know, every population, every demographic has its own criminal rings or what have you. I really don't know what to say, but she didn't want a camera in there. I guess, you know, maybe she has the authority over that specific store, but she outright lied and said, well, there's signage on the doors. I don't know if I left it up or not. There's no signage on the doors. I checked. There's still no signage on the doors. So for whatever reason, she didn't want people to be exposed for what they do these days in the supermarket. I actually walked in. There's Lumi with their... She got out of gynecology and into the business of lotion. She probably had a lot of people showing up, and it grossed her out at some point, and got into lotions or deodorant for all body parts. It's kind of a gross job, especially if people show up on purpose. Gross. And that would be a sign of a war. And I guess she had enough money to start this lotion deodorant brand. Oh, we have a gym here. This used to be FedEx, Kinko's, or, you know, Arena. Welcome to the Arena. So speaking of wars, it's like the Romans conquering, or who conquered the Romans, or I forget who conquered who, but some people see the world that way. So which way do we want? Do we want straight, or do we want... Anyway, I came out this evening to get water. I ran low on water, so I drink 1.5 liter bottles, those big bottles you can get at Trader Joe's. They're like 79 cents or 69 cents, and And I think that's a pretty good deal for water, especially because water can be so expensive anywhere else. Then I got a couple bananas because I was craving some for some reason. And they're pretty cheap. They're like 23 cents for just regular conventional, 29 cents for organic. And sometimes like a banana could be a whole meal, you know what I mean? They're very filling. Potassium is always needed. It's one of those things that people often lack. It's rare for someone to go overboard on potassium unless they're a raw vegan organic foodie and they wind up, you know, making too many banana smoothies or something. I don't know. But we always need potassium. This is Blue Cross, Independence Blue Cross Insurance. And then I got 4 perfect bars, because like for breakfast I'll have a perfect bar, for dinner I'll have a banana, maybe for lunch I'll try to have like a more like a salt. I don't eat that much. It's a way to, you know, not puff up, you know. I save money. Also, it's hard to be overly active these days. I used to practice yoga, and they really don't have good yoga these days. Also, any yoga that's available is too expensive and not good. So it's like, okay, I can't do that. I can only do some things at home. And to ensure I don't intake too many calories, I just sort of eat very lightly as best as I can on cheap food. Orange here, so I use the good cleaner around here, which is rare. Usually in Philly you get some, I see it as part of a gang stalking problem. Properties, or whether they're the property management companies, providing really god-awful cleansing. But here it was okay. It's a subtle orange citrus, and most people can tolerate that. It's like the comforting chewable tablet for kids, you know, when you didn't feel good as a kid and somehow that little tablet made you feel better. Heading this way, quiet-ish. 11/11, they had the verdict on the Delphi case, and Richard Allen was found guilty on all 4 counts. A lot of people expected that just because it took 5.5 years to find the guy. So I'm wondering what kind of tactics were used to locate the person, or how it all unfolded. I also thought